Salute, everybody. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, welcome to Black Men Unfiltered Network for another episode of Unfiltered News, guys. It is so good to see you. First of all, I would like to also see all my people. I see them in the chat today. Some new, some came through. Stephen Day always here. What's going on, family? TR Baby 23, Dunn GQ, Jenny. Oh my God, Jenny, thank you so much for being here. Anye, thank you for being here, man. These guys here are amazing, showing up for me today. Our TR Baby 23, Randy, what's up? How are you? Adrian Nash, what is going on? Mandrell 211, my guy, right? Everybody's in the building, man. Thank you so much. Please share this content. Please get the likes up. There's 13 people in here right now. Go ahead and hit that like button for me. Get the likes up. Thank you guys for all the support, man. I went and looked at the numbers last week from this news, man. You guys are really, really supporting me. And thank you guys for sharing it and supporting. So it is amazing to see you guys here. Von Bryant is in the building today. Von, how are you today? Right? So, guys, we're going to hop right into it. Hey, M. Mills, what's going on? Much love and respect to you as well. It is so good to see you too, hon. Thank you so much for being here. We got Von Bryant. Put you guys on the screen. I gotta show y'all for a minute. Mandrell, thank you, man, for being here. Jenny, the beautiful Jenny, is always in the building supporting. Adrian Nash, thank you for being here. TR Baby, salute to you as well. To salute. Let's go, Randy. Let's see. Randy's in the building. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Anye's in the building. Whoop, there she is right there. All right. Don GQ's in the building right there. And last but not least, Stephen Day, thank you. And everybody else, get in the comments and react, and let's get started. So, guys, I want to talk about President's Day. Happy President's Day to you guys. Oh, my God. It's such a beautiful holiday. Oh, we rejoice all the rich white slave owners on today. We got one out of the bunch, but we just going to enjoy the rich white slave owners. We want to think about all of them. Oh, how were they? Oh, guys, how are you guys celebrating in the chat? Come on, let's get in the chat here. How many of you guys are celebrating your past presidents today? Yeah, come on. Let's be salute to our flag and salute to our anthem. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. Salute to our presidents, past and present. Oh my God. Come on, put it in. I know somebody in the chat is celebrating today. All right. Well, I guess not. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. So I want to talk about President's Day. President's Day is a day that I have no idea why we're still celebrating it, based on the fact that so many things happen with presidents. Presidents were, back in the day, they were slave owners. They would impregnate black women. But I'm gonna go to one article first. I'm gonna piece them up. Let me go ahead and start sharing the screen here with you guys. I'm gonna piece them out, because I need you guys to see this as we go. I got one of my favorite presidents that I want to talk about in a minute, that everybody adores. We're gonna break him down. Let's see. Let me see. I'm gonna talk about him for a second. I want to do it. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, I already got that pulled up. Okay. So I'm gonna pull this up for you guys. And again, thank you guys for being here. K Love said we'll celebrate you once you become president. Black Men Unfiltered. Absolutely. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. If I was president, boy, can you listen, guys? Let's do a little comedic relief here. Can you guys imagine what kind of press conference it would be if I was the president and I was having problems with the Senate and the Congress? Let's just imagine it for a second. Can you imagine me walking up to the podium after they sitting on these laws and sitting on change for people? Can you imagine the things I would say? Oh, it would be amazing. It'll be a show every time the cameras come on. I can see myself now. I don't give a damn about what y'all think. I'll be walking in on them while they voting. I'll be throwing stuff at, man. Man, if I was the boy, I could be the president. Ooh, it'll be over. All right, let me go ahead and share the screen with you guys. Here we go. Man, hey, Adrian, you know who was it in the Adrian, is this because of you? Because somebody gave me this to work on today. Somebody, I want to give them the credit. All right. I want to give them because I'm definitely talking about this, guys. If you see on the screen, shout out to Thomas Jefferson. That's my favorite one. See, you spoiled it for me, Adrian Nash. That's my favorite president right there. This is the one we're about to talk about as soon as I get to talk about the rest of these low down scoundrels. All right, here we go. All right. All right. Slavery in the president's neighborhood. FAQs, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Slave or enslaved, and note on language. All right. You may be wondering about the terms used in slavery in the President's Neighborhood Initiative because they may be different from what you have previously heard, although there's a debate amongst historians about the best way to discuss those forced to participate in the institution of slavery. Right? You guys see that? All right, let's continue. All right. It says today, enslaved. Okay. The word slave is a noun due to the historical implications of slavery. The word often reduces the enslaved person to an object in order to grant agency and recognition to the enslaved individual and to remind us about the violence and inhumanity of slavery. Enslaved is used to wherever possible throughout this initiative. The question is, because you guys may have a lot of questions, this may answer a lot of your questions because I want to make sure you were educated in this. Did enslaved people help build the White House? Well, come on. Everybody knows this. But if you don't know, did enslaved laborers helped in every stage? Let me go back and start over because that word is very important. Enslaved laborers helped in every stage of building construction, from the initial quarrying and transportation of stone to the construction of the executive mansion. They worked alongside craftsmen, white wage laborers, and other free African American wage laborers, right? Did enslaved people help rebuild the White House? Yes. Did you guys know that the British burned it down to the ground? They sure did. Enslaved laborers were involved in the reconstruction of the White House. Evidence suggests that there were fewer enslaved workers involved in the reconstruction and the initial constructions between 1792 and 1800. Which U.S. presidents relied on enslaved labor at the White House? Come on. According to surviving documentation, all the rest of it got burned up. Come on. It says here, according to surviving documentation, at least 9 presidents either brought with them or hired out enslaved individuals to work at the White House. Thomas Jefferson, all my favorite. James Madison, James Monroe, John Quincy Adams, Andrew Jackson, Martin Van Buren, John Tyler, James K. Polk, and Zachary Taylor. Which U.S. presidents owned enslaved people? Here we go. We get into the juice. It says here, according to surviving documentation, I got this highlighted for you guys. According to surviving documentation, at least 12 presidents were slave owners at some point during their lives. Well, the most famous, George Washington, my favorite, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, Andrew Jackson, we know Andrew Jackson, Martin Van Buren, William Henry Harrison, John Tyler, James K. Polk, Zachary Taylor, Andrew Johnson, and Ulysses S. Grant. What roles did enslaved people fill at the White House? I'm glad you asked. Enslaved individuals worked in a variety of positions in the president's household as chefs, gardeners, stable hands, maids, butlers, lady hands, valets, and more. Now, I wonder how much they got paid. Wait a minute. I wonder, where did the enslaved people live in the White House? Enslaved individuals working in the White House often slept in the attic or in the ground floor rooms, either above us or beneath us, but we don't want to see you. Their living arrangements varied from administration. Accounts suggest these spaces were uncomfortable with extreme temperature disparity. In particular, the ground floor was often damp and rodent infested. So basically, I need all you niggas to come work for me, and I want you to clean the White House up. And after you clean the White House up, I want y'all to go down there and sleep on the wet ground where the mold is and where the rats at. And then I want you to get up tomorrow morning, dress back up in your dress up clothes, and come work for us again. So basically, come and sleep with the rats. Come and sleep with the rats. Can you imagine sleeping and someone passing by you, running by your feet, nibbling on your feet while you sleep? Do you guys know rats can chew through 4 inches of steel pipe? Can you imagine what a rat would do in to flesh? Wow. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. Let's see some other questions that they have here. This study that they did. How does urban slavery? It's different types, guys. How does urban slavery differ from plantation slavery? In order to plant, maintain, and harvest cash crops, most plantation relied on large numbers of enslaved laborers. Of course. However, slave owners living in urban settings typically required fewer enslaved people to manage households. Yes, they wanted all the yellow skinned people inside the house, and they wanted all the dark skinned people outside the house. And that's where the term, when you hear this, that's why the term, when they say house nigga, when you go to work and you see that when you see someone up behind the boss's ass and they telling on everybody and they going to the office on everybody, going to tell, and you hear house nigga, the term house nigga comes from the fact that they would take the lighter. This is where colorism started, because they would take the yellow skinned people and put them in a better situation inside the house because they were closer shade to white than they were black. And so what they would do, they would put the light skinned people inside the house and they would call them the house niggas. And the house niggas got to sleep in beds. They got to take a bath because they were around white people all day serving them. So the white man didn't want to smell the stench of muss, and he didn't want to, and he didn't want them walking around muddy and stinky and sweaty around his guests and his children and taking care of his children. So he would have the lighter skinned people in the house. That's where colorism started. Guys, we're gonna have a complete breakdown tomorrow on the Willie Lynch letters, because the Willie Lynch letters explain how they did these things, how they broke down the system. And to this day, we have not, as a culture, got to the end of the crabs in the bucket mentality. And we think it's something that we created. It is not. For the longest, our Caucasian counterparts have put us against each other to make us hate each other by putting the more lighter skinned people in prominent positions in the house. Now, don't get it twisted. They were still the house niggas, but the house niggas got to sleep on good beds. They got to eat with the folks, and then they got to sleep in the house. And then the owner would have a bed winch. So what he would do is he would leave out of the room with his white wife, and he would go and sleep with the women that worked in the house. And he would walk in the room, and the women would open their legs and just let him have his way, because they knew if he did, if they were his property and he owned them, so if he wasn't able to penetrate their bodies, or grate them, because I have to use that instead of the other one, then if they weren't allowed to do that, then they would beat them, or worse, sometimes even leading to death if you denied sexual assault from your master. So colorism started there, right? The crab in the bucket mentality started there. Willie Lynch, in back in the day, and even today, if you read Willie Lynch letter, if you haven't read it, I suggest that you read it. Read the Willie Lynch letters. And when you read the Willie Lynch letters, I want you to pay attention to what he's saying. When he was a very, very intelligent man in the destruction of black people, how he would turn them against each other, how you would celebrate their colors and their different shades of color, right? How you would get an overseer that lived in the house with the master to be the black overseer that lives in the house with the master of lighter complexion, and put them over all the dark skinned people in the field so they can fight with each other instead of focus on what the real problem was, which was them being enslaved. Willie Lynch, guys, you got to look it up right now. I'm looking at my phone right now because I have a book I also want to add to this project that we're doing today. I have a book um, that I read, and I want to share it with you guys. I'm going to show it to you on the screen here. Where's there we go. So I do digital reading sometimes, or I listen to it. But I have a lot here. One of the books here I have on Amazon is this book here. Let me go back to it. If you guys can see that. All right. The letters, the Willie Lynch letter, aka The Making of a Slave. So in the book, he teaches how he came down and taught them how to make their slaves, right? But the most interesting book that I just start reading, you really, really, really got to get this book. It's amazing to show you where we are and where we've been, because it's crazy out here. The name of the book is, if I can get it to pull up here, I will in just a second. But anyway, to explain the book before I pull it up, the book is about when they brought the slaves over here on the boat and they got hungry. Guess what the white men would do on the boat? Anybody want to guess in the chat? Oh yes, yeah, I know y'all know where this is going. Y'all know where this is going. When they got hungry on the boat, what happened? Okay, I'll tell you. They used to take the slaves. They used to Jenny. Uh-oh. Ding 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 ding. Jenny's our winner today. Look at the screen, guys. Eat them. Yes, they were known as the earliest cannibals. They would eat the slaves. I know. I know, guys. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to fathom that black bodies were being chopped up and burned up and cooked and seasoned on a on a boat. But guess what? They say that's our property. If we want to eat them, we're gonna eat them. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to find the book here. I know I didn't mishandle it here. I had it saved as my favorite. The name of the book. Let's see. I'm gonna find it. Anyway, I'll have it before the show's over. But yeah, they used to eat the slaves. Period, point blank. Just eat them up. Ain't that crazy? They used to eat the slaves for dinner. When they didn't have anything else to eat, when they were on the boat, everybody got tired. They used to eat them. I want to see what you guys think in the chat about that. Yeah, yeah. Come on, be responsive. I need to hear you guys today. We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna find the book. A matter of fact, I'll present it to you guys tomorrow because I don't know what I don't know if I deleted it by mistake or something must have happened. It's crazy. Okay, so anyway, I'll show you guys tomorrow. But yes, they used to eat the slaves. They used to go and consume them. Right? They used to take them off the boat, eat black people. Right? Most black slaves would jump off the boat and just delete themselves because they didn't want to deal with it. So Adrian Nash, she asked the question, pardon, who's eating the slaves? The slave owners, the ones that went and bought the slaves, right? So there's a lot of documentation and journalism. There are a lot of journals that the people that went and took the slaves and put them on the boat, they talked about it. And I'll have all that information for you tomorrow when we talk about the consumption of the slave. That's what we're talking about tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. But the slave owners were on the boats and they were running into storms and they would get low on food and they would stop feeding the slaves and they would take the poorest slaves, knock them in the head, and they would have one of the guys on there serve them up, cook them, serve them up. That was their protein. That was their meat. I know somebody feeling some type of way about that, but that's just the way it was. Okay, so moving on, guys. Let's get to my favorite guy here. I just want to spend a few moments with my guy Thomas Jefferson. That's y'all guy, right? I'm gonna spend a few moments with Thomas Jefferson today because Thomas Jefferson had a whole bunch of kids, right? But Thomas Jefferson said women stink and black women stink. They had a smell to them. But he had 6 kids with a black woman. Let's take a look.
She has 6 children with a U.S. president, but nobody know her. The dark side of Thomas Jefferson, they don't want you to know. When you hear the name Thomas Jefferson, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? One of the founding fathers, the 3rd president of the United States, the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, who established the base of American democracy with 5 simple words: all men are created equal. Surely we remember him for one or all of these remarkable works. His strong position against slavery and slave trade made it possible to abolish slavery in the United States. Well, what if I tell you that this same person was a lifelong slave owner who kept enslaved women as mistresses, ran several of his factories with young African children aging only 11 or 12, and didn't even free 7 slaves till his death? I know what you're thinking. Sometimes fact is stranger than fiction. Let's dive deep in today's video. We're going to discover the dark secrets of Thomas Jefferson's life that will make you question a lot of things.
Hello friends, welcome to Fresh Story Media. Here we try to cover the latest news and human interest stories, as well as try to make this world a better place every single
States from 1801 to 1809. Before being elected as president, he was living in a plantation site in Virginia, which he inherited from his father at age 26. It's now a historic place and attracts tourists from all over the world, but most people don't know the disturbing secrets this property kept hidden from general people. The plantation was originally 5,000 acres. Jefferson used the labor of enslaved African people for extensive cultivation tobacco, some mixed crops, and wheat. He also ran some factories in the property. In 1768, Jefferson began constructing his primary residence, the famous Monticello on a hilltop, from where he can overlook his 5,000-acre plantation. Cabins for enslaved Africans who worked in the fields were farther from the mansion, out of Jefferson's sight, both literally and figuratively. Well, so far we've discussed some of the established historical facts that you may already know, but a new historical novel about Thomas Jefferson has disclosed something that may shake you to your core. Written by Stephen O'Connor, the novel Thomas Jefferson Dreams of Sally Hemmings has disclosed the mysterious relationship Mr. Jefferson kept with his female slaves. Let's dive deep into this matter. A woman called Sally Hemmings. Meet Sally Hemmings.
Now, guys, fair use for this is for informational purposes only. All right, this is fair use for informational purposes only. If you're just coming in right now, thank you for being here. Go and come in and hit that like button. We're going to continue on, but I want to just say, look at this picture of this woman. Sally Hemmings was fine. That is a beautiful woman. Jesus, do y'all see it? That was a beautiful black woman. A beautiful black woman that was taken advantage of by a Caucasian man, put in a basement, and I'm gonna let y'all hear. I'm gonna let y'all hear. Here it is.
One of the many slaves who worked on Thomas Jefferson's plantation and household. Even though she was a slave, her fate was intertwined with Jefferson in a very unusual way. She came to the Jefferson household as a baby. As a girl of mixed race, she was awarded the privilege of being a domestic worker in Jefferson's house. This meant she did not have to work the plantation side.
What did I just tell you guys earlier? If you had lighter skin, you worked where? In the house. Right? So she had lighter skin, so she worked in the house. Let's continue.
In 1784, Jefferson went to France as the American envoy. His daughter Polly and Hemmings traveled with him on the trip. Hemmings was actually selected to accompany Polly when another slave became pregnant and was not able to attend. Hemmings was a teenager at that time. They stayed in France for 26 months. Slavery became abolished in France after the Revolution. Hemmings was able to learn French, accompanying Polly to formal gatherings as a lady's maid. She was legally permitted to request for her freedom and remain in France as a free person, but she returned to Monticello with Jefferson. Why did she return to Monticello? While staying at France at the age of only 16, Hemmings became pregnant by Jefferson. Jefferson was actually a widower during this time. Hemmings returned to the United States instead of pursuing her freedom in France, as Thomas Jefferson promised a lot to her. He promised to give extraordinary privileges for herself and also freeing her when she reached 21 years of age and freedom for her future children. Hemmings also wished to be near her immediate family members who were in the U.S. She arrived back in Virginia and slavery at the age of 16. Her life at Monticello. Jefferson's sexual relationship with Hemmings spanned over several decades, beginning when Hemmings was a teenager and Jefferson was in his 40s. Though Jefferson and his family always denied the claims that he was the father of Hemmings' children, one thing makes it pretty confirmed that he was actually the father. In his lifetime, Jefferson did not list down Hemmings' children's father's name in the farm book, a 500 pages document where Jefferson kept the records of his business. Historians use this as a standard reference for research about Monticello. Hemmings gave birth to 6 children, but only 4 of them lived to adulthood. Thomas Jefferson eventually kept his promises. He freed them all. Hemmings was allowed to live freely in Charlottesville. She lived at Monticello until her death in 1835. Was it rape or was there any affection? Well, the undeniable fact we need to understand that the real nature of Sally Hemmings' sexual encounters with Thomas Jefferson will never be known, as historians have a range of opinion on this matter. Keeping that in mind, we have to understand that enslaved women had no legal right to consent. Their masters owned their labor, their bodies, and their children. There was surely an unequal power between masters and enslaved women. An imbalance in power shouldn't leave much space for love or affection. The cruel world for slaves at Monticello. A recently discovered letter showed how Monticello's young black slaves, aging only 10, 11, or 12, were whipped to get them to work in Jefferson's nail factory, whose profits paid the master's mansion's grocery bill.
That's all. I'm good. I don't even want to see nothing else. Fair use for informational purposes only for YouTube, right? I just wanted to share that with you guys. A beautiful woman. You seen it? And he had her so mentally gone that she left some freedom to come back and live in a basement. There's a room in the house. There's a secret room in the house that they found when they went into the house where she lived in the basement and bore his children in that basement. And that, just like over at the White House, an old rat infested basement where moisture and mold is, right? Beautiful girl. Or, it's amazing that there are statues of these people in Washington. George, all these people they named George Washington, and all these people, they have statues. And when I went to Washington, I noticed something. Every statue there has a covering, except the Martin Luther King statue. If you've ever been to Washington, guys, you should go see it. Every statue there has a covering over it, right? Martin Luther King just cut it in the side of a rock, and they just put him somewhere in the back. You have to walk way back in the back to go see him. But there's no such thing as a covering. There's no thing over it. They have guards guarding all of the statues out there. When we were there, probably one was over there by Martin, but it was over there by Jefferson and the rest of them boys, packed up the line around the building, hats and guns, and they ready to go, full assault gear, right? So yeah, so that was Sally Hemmings. If you want to go look that up, go look up Sally Hemmings. She was the bearer of all those children. She had 6, she lost 2, ended up with 4, right? All right. So let's go on to one of my favorite things here. Yes. Yeah. So the Undefeated, if you guys don't read the Undefeated, you guys should definitely read the Undefeated. It is amazing for our culture. I want to share this screen with you guys. Here it is. The Star-Spangled Banner's racist lyrics reflect its slave owner, Francis Scott Key, right? And now I wanted to do 2 songs today that are famous in the Black neighborhood or in the Black community. One is that we continue to sing this trash. I have no idea why. When I go to a football game, they say, stand for the national. What? I get my best sleep. I get a little nap. I'm not standing up for that. I teach my kids the same thing at the school. The school already notified me. Your child's been insubordinate. He's not standing for the national anthem. He's not standing for the pledge. I said, because that has nothing to do with him. And he was instructed by his parent, and he has rights. He's not standing up. He's not doing anything. Period. Point blank. Okay. And any recourse taken toward my child, we're going to have a problem. So I've already let the school know that. But when it comes to the Star-Spangled Banner, a lot of people don't know that Francis Scott Key was a slave owner. He did write this national anthem. And we do an overview here. Francis Scott Key, it says here, Francis Scott Key and Colin Kaepernick are perfect opposites in the drama of privilege versus protest in America. All right. So let's look up these lyrics. I think they have it in this article. Because we're used to saying, oh, there it is. Let me highlight that. There we go. So can you imagine singing, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? You know how the white folks sing it. What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we was were so gallantly streaming. And then they go into this part. Imagine this part. Imagine hearing this part. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. And the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph doth wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, say does that Star-Spangled Banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave. This is what they were singing, right? See, I added the third stanza in there because the third stanza is the most racist. Right? Let me zoom this in because I want you guys to screenshot this. If you're on your phones or I want you to look at this. These are the lyrics. This is what you're standing up for. This is the part that they left out. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. And the star-spangled banner in triumph doth wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave. If you go up a little further in this article, it says pride was palatable. Baltimore said every republic after the British Army sacked Washington. Madison fled the empty Capitol, riding ahead of the redcoats, who feasted in the White House before setting fire to it. Wow, them British boys weren't bullshitting. They sat down at the table and ate at the White House, and then after they ate at the White House, they burned it up and walked out. They set it afire and walked out. Them British boys weren't bull, they wasn't playing. So, but anyway, they said the song was named the national anthem more than 100 years later. If only that were the end of the tale. From the third verse of the Star-Spangled Banner, which I've already read to you guys. This verse is hardly ever sung these days, but there it is. There it is. Colin Kaepernick tried to bring to it. Now, Colin Kaepernick took a knee. Right, let's read it. Kaepernick, the biracial former San Francisco 49ers quarterback who saw protests over racial injustice in football fields across America, has not singled out P, nor has slavery entered the fray. Yet, Kaepernick's protest puts P's privilege into a clearer, harsher light, showing the white supremacy of the national anthem, its author, and the legacy that America must not forget. And now, Kaepernick did that, and he said, and that's why I enjoyed the Super Bowl halftime, guys, but I don't like it because everything that's going on in the league right now. The coaches are finding out that they're only interviewing them because the league makes them interview one black candidate. The New York Giants has not hired a black coach in 100 years of its organization. They're not hiring people of color, and then all of a sudden, let's get a whole bunch of black people to do the halftime show, and that will pacify. See, that's what I'm telling you guys. We got to start focusing. That will pacify the black people and let them look at Mary J. Blige and Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and 50 Cent hanging upside down, looking like a damn pinata. Eminem coming in and taking a knee. Let's bring all them in, and we'll take all they'll talk about that, but they won't talk about Brian Flores being racially discriminated against as a black coach, and he has receipts. And other black coaches are now coming forward saying we didn't have an opportunity to be head coaches either. Right? So I think sometimes they use us as a distraction. And the most gut-wrenching thing, guys, I'm telling you, I know I play a lot, but I'm being so serious about this. The most gut-wrenching thing to me is to see them every time there's a discrimination against black people, they always hire a black singer to sing the national anthem. Do you guys notice that? I remember they had Gladys Knight sing it a few years back, and they said, Gladys, that's when Colin Kaepernick was at the height of discrimination in the league. And they said, Gladys Knight, do you know what's going on with the national anthem and you choose to sing it? She said, oh, America has changed, and they done whitewashed her. Poor Gladys Knight. Poor Gladys Knight. I always wanted to ride the train to Georgia with Gladys, but damn near I told the conductor to stop the train and let me off because I couldn't understand why she would continue to do it. I just don't understand. But again, guys, this is what I wanted to talk about today. I know I wasn't as brutal today. I want to be a little easy on you guys today, but tomorrow I'm bringing that fire. Tomorrow I got something. We're going to talk about the consumption of the slave. And we're going to talk about how they were eaten, how they were thrown overboard, right? We're going to talk about in the Atlantic Ocean, how they've thrown so many bodies off of boats, or so many bodies have been thrown off the boats on their way to America, that in the same area to this day, it's a slave graveyard in some places. And they say the sharks used to just have a field day with the slaves in this particular area where they used to dump the slaves. And to this day, the sharks is the most heavily infested area in the Atlantic Ocean of sharks, because they still have muscle memory, brain memory, to still swim in that area thinking they're still going to get some lunch. Amazing. Guys, I want to thank you guys for being here today. I want to thank you guys for being a part of Black Men Unfiltered. Guys, I have so many things coming up, so many things, so many ideas, right? So today, every day, 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'll be on from 12:15 every day, p.m. Central Standard Time, 12 p.m. to do the news. On Tuesdays, we have Talk That Talk Tuesday. You can go to my community tab. You'll be able to see that. We have Talk That Talk Tuesdays. And this Tuesday, we're going to talk heavily about accountability, the good, the bad, and the ugly of accountability in our community. How do we get it? How do we keep it? How do we move forward with it? Right? From the adults, men and men, women and women, women and men, and children. How do we hold our children accountable? That's going to be a great conversation. Holding children accountable when they're 18. When should they progress? When should you get them out their house? When should you start training them financially to set them up for greatness? Accountability on the parents and the child. We're going to talk about it on Tuesday. On Friday, we have barbershop talk. This week, I don't know what we're going to talk about Friday, but I know once we get in there, the conversation is going to spread like wildfire. All right. And so on Saturday, we have the ladies at 12:30 Central Standard Time on Saturday, and they're going to be bringing it for the ladies. So guys, I thank you for your support for everything that I'm trying to do here. I thank you guys so much. Thank you for coming in every day. We have 18 people here. Please hit the like button. If this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button. If you have more than one page, which I've seen a lot of people do, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button twice. All right, because I'm on the road to 1,000. And once I get to 1,000, man, we as a family, guys, you in the chat, we're going to blow up. We're going to do a big thing for 1,000 and continue to move forward and do bigger and better things. Because I think I have one of the best shows on YouTube. I'm tired of being, I think I have one of the best shows. My brother, Sir Hill Speaks, has one of the best shows on YouTube right now. Right? We getting this recognition right now. Right? So we're going to make sure, and these are Black men, right? The Peef Network has one of the best shows on YouTube right now. This is Black media at its best, and we're going to continue to bring it. No matter who brings something to me, no matter what, I'm still going to bring the heat. But Sir Hill has one of the best morning shows this side of heaven. I know I have one of the best news shows because ain't nobody doing this but me, right? Not on no consistent basis if they are. And then on Tuesday nights, ain't nobody having the conversations that nobody want to have. We talk about stuff that's pissing people off and then making people love each other again because the conversation needs to be had. Ain't you tired of sitting in the house with the same uncle that assaults you? Come on, do we talk about that? Do we talk about families that protect the assaulter, the person that assault children? Or are we talking about the husbands that are no longer in the household? Are we talking about a system that's designed to break down the family, the value? Are we talking about the feminist movement being fair to women in pay, but also critiquing themselves to still be under their man? Are we talking about the family values? Are we going to sit here and continue to talk about people's emotions? We don't care about emotions. We care about the facts. Facts over feelings is one of the first shows I did as a content creator. If you want to go back and look at one of my first shows before all this stuff you see, this studio that I built out in my area, before all of this stuff, when I had a little purple microphone and nothing. And I was talking about that. This is what we have to do as a community. We have to have the conversations. We have to go around in circles, right? We may have to go around in circles until somebody breaks the link and we go somewhere different, but we still have to have the conversations, because the reason we're still going in circles is because nobody's having the conversation. So guys, please support Black media today. Please support Black media today. Please, if you want to support me financially, you see the Cash App scrolling at the bottom of the screen. If you want to support me in other ways, share this content with 5 other people and have them hit the subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to keep bringing it, but hit that subscribe button. I need you. Hit that like button so we can continue to grow and be better and get better and get better and get better. right? Thank you, Big Bad Bull, for being here. Thank you, everybody who came in today and supported me with my news today. We'll be back same time tomorrow, 12:15 Central Standard Time. All right. I love each and every one of you guys. And as I say all the time before I close, do something nice for someone. Please do something nice for someone. And if you, I mean, buy their coffee, buy someone's grocery. If you got money, buy somebody's grocery. Buy somebody's grocery. Go and take care. Go buy a lady, a single mom, some diapers for her kid. She can't afford diapers for her baby. Right? You don't have to do it financially. Find somebody that's looking for a job. Keep their kids for them while they go out on a job. Find a married couple that's struggling to stay together because of financial things, and the kids are running them crazy. Say, hey, listen, go have a good weekend. I'll keep the babies for you. It could be something as simple as something, you don't have to be financial with it. It could be something that you can give of yourself. Find something nice to do for someone today. And guys, if you're a loner, if you're an introvert, you're not an extrovert, then do something nice for yourself. Because like I always say, self-care is the what? I hear y'all, the best care. So thank you guys so much for being here. I love you guys dearly. We'll be back tomorrow at 12:15 p.m. Central Standard Time and tomorrow night for Talk That Talk Tuesday. We're going to talk about accountability, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Parenting, marriages, single, everything. Accountability at every level. All right. Thank you, Luke Hazley 20. Thank you so much. And we'll be right back on tomorrow. I appreciate you guys. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And again, I love you guys dearly. Guys, you are the reason that we are successful at this. The reason that we put so many hours into editing videos and coming on and making sure we give you guys the best of us. And so I just want to thank you guys for coming in. And until next time, Black Men Unfiltered out. See you tomorrow. Peace.